What's good, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of the Recruiting News here on Scarlet and Great, or as you guys know it, Ohio State Football with Scarlet and Great here on YouTube. My name is Shane Larson. I also go by the Gametime Guru. I'm also known as the Boise Buckeye, but after talking to you guys and seeing some of the comments, I'm not the only Boise Buckeye. There's quite a few Buckeyes here in the area of Boise, Idaho, where normally the Boise State Broncos reign, but we got a lot of Buckeyes around here for Buckeye Nation. Wanted to give a quick little housekeeping item. If you look this way behind me, up on the wall, that's not a Michigan. That's not a Michigan picture or frame. It's actually my high school, Meridian High School, class of 06. But we are blue and gold with the M, so it does look similar. But I wanted to make sure I stated that so people didn't think that I'm a closet Michigan fan. But I also wanted to show you guys this thing. This just got finished for me when my dad and I made the travel down to Columbus. You're going to see we got this whole entire thing put together. Pretty sick little frame. I was excited about that. Got the Notre Dame experience this year and got to make that frame for my dad. So had a good little memory with my pops and got to get a frame done for me and a frame done for him. Now, what I would love to ask for you guys as we're going to get into the recruiting news is to make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're doing a giveaway here on the channel. If you guys haven't heard it, go back and check some of the videos. We're going to be giving away a hoodie and possibly a mug to go along with that. Scarlet and Great hoodie, Scarlet and Great mug to an awesome Buckeye fan who's been following us. So hit that subscribe button. If we can get to 5,000 subscribers before Michigan, we'll be giving away a mug and a sweatshirt. So make sure to do that. Now, getting into the recruiting news today, it's going to be kind of a fun conversation. We're going to be talking about Jordan Hall, his top 5, but we'll also be talking about the trio that Larry Johnson's trying to land right now and kind of talk about where everybody stands in the mix there on the defensive front. As last week you heard, I talked about Caden McDonald. He committed last week. Well, right now we're trying to see if we can maybe land any of the other big-time edge rushers that we're looking at right now. So we'll be focusing specifically on Jordan Hall today, as well as Damon Wilson, Matayo Uiagalelei, as well as Keon Keeley. So stay tuned. Starting off with Jordan Hall, he put the Buckeyes in his top 5. Now, he's still leaning towards Georgia, but it is cool to see that he has put Ohio State in his top 5. And it looks like, I want to give a shout out to 11 Warriors where I follow a lot of their content. I love that they, update us on this too, but it does look like Jordan Hall will possibly be at the Michigan game at the end of the month. So that would be huge for Ohio State. If we can get Jordan Hall at the Michigan game and then we actually put up a good performance, not lay an egg like we did against Northwestern, that could be huge as far as swinging. A cool little tidbit of information is while he is leaning towards UGA, the fact that he wants to come and watch the game is promising for us. And you know what, though? It's interesting because Caden McDonald, this is a defensive tackle. Just so you know, Jordan Hall is a 6'4", 300-pound defensive tackle. I mean, we're looking at some big dudes. But with Caden McDonald committing, we're not sure if we necessarily need Jordan Hall, another class of 2023, commit coming in at the same interior line area. So just so you know, Jordan Hall has put us in the top 5. It's not out of the realm of possibilities right now, but he is still currently leaning towards UGA. Let's see if we put on a performance against Michigan and maybe switch his mind there. Now, talking about changing minds and whatnot, we'll talk about a couple of guys here. First off, can Larry Johnson land this trio? And the trio I'm talking about is Damon Wilson, Matayo Uiagalelei, and Keon Keeley. And yes, Matayo Uiagalelei is the younger brother of DJ, quarterback at Clemson. They both played for St. John Bosco in California. Very prestigious high school, well-known, produces a lot of talent out of that school. We're looking at all 3 of these edge rushers. And this is one of those situations where, if we could land one, we could possibly land the others. But if we don't land one, we might not land any kind of situation. That's the whole conversation. Can Larry Johnson have another 2021 situation where, he landed JTT, Sawyer was there as well. Can he have another one of those? Let me tell you about Damon Wilson, just so you have an understanding of who he is if you guys didn't pay attention. He's continuing to lean towards Ohio State. He's also looking to come to the Michigan game, so that's going to be awesome. He's 6'4", 230 pounds on the edge. Massive force. Now, if Corey was here with me, we'd be giving each other a little bit of crap because he always was talking about how some of the other guys that are 6'2" and under, like, too short for the line. Well, these are the guys that Corey would like. These are Corey's types of dudes right here. These are the dogs that Corey likes. Damon Wilson, 6'4", 230-pound edge rusher. Now, here's the situation that I wanted to touch base on. Ryan Day and Larry Johnson actually made their visit during the off week, right? And that could have potentially swung it. And there's the conversations that have been happening, whether it be on Twitter or just the speculation happening, because Wilson's kind of looking at this like, man, okay, Ohio State might actually be an option for me. And it just speaks to the power of Ryan Day. If we go back a couple of weeks when Day took a little bit of flack, I did a video on that for having missed the award ceremony to go out to CJ Stroud in California and visit him at his home. But that and we talked to Dallin Hayden last year here on the show, on the channel, and Dallin talked about how personable Ryan Day is. We've got to give Ryan Day some credit, man, and Larry Johnson for their ability to personalize this stuff. They actually take the recruiting very seriously. So shout out to Ryan Day for potentially, shifting Wilson in the eyes of Ohio State. So the other guy we're looking at, Uiagalelei, again, he's a 6'5" edge rusher out of St. John Bosco in California. And Keon Keeley, 6'6" edge rusher. They're all class 2023. Now, if you guys remember, Keeley was committed to Notre Dame. All right. So Keeley was committed to Notre Dame. He decommitted this last summer and now is looking at Ohio State. It's another one of those big ones. All three of these guys are game-changing performers, right? They're game changers. And that is the thing. We're looking at these guys, and a lot of the, I guess, the recruiting experts are saying, well, no, they're leaning more towards the SEC and whatnot, which is true. All three of them have offers over in the SEC, including Uiagalelei. He's got some offers over there. A lot of our guys are there, but we are competing with the SEC recruiting. Shout out to Ryan Day and Larry Johnson. So I want to know from you guys, if we could land all three of them. Obviously, they can't all three play at the exact same time, right? But we know how Larry Johnson is anyway with his rotations. Is a joke that's been here on the channel between Johnny and the rest of the listeners. If we can get these guys in the rotation, though, and we can build these guys up, you've got three dudes with massive size. We've got 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", and they're 230 and above, man. These guys are absolute dogs out there, great athletes that could be game changers, program changers, if you will, that go along with all the other recruiting classes that we have in every position. So, again, I'll ask the question here as we wrap this up. Do you guys think that Larry Johnson can land this trio? Can he have another 2021 recruiting class performance where he lands more than one? Because, again, like I said, this looks like it's a situation where if he can land one, it'll swing either one or two of the others. So he could land one and get them all, or land one and get another one. Or if he doesn't land any, they might all just go somewhere else, right? It's either one for all or none for any of them, right? So it's one of those things, all or nothing kind of situation. Do you think he can land it? Do you think he gets at least one of these guys out of Wilson, Uiagalelei, and Keeley to commit? And if he does, do you think that the rest follow, or at least one of them? Could be huge for the program, huge for this defensive front that we need. We're looking really promising. I think the fact that Jim Knowles is here, we're going to talk about it weekly on these recruiting reports, but Jim Knowles is proving time and time again that he is taking this thing seriously. And we could sit here and talk all day about the Northwestern performance, right, from offensive standpoint, but like defensively, we started to make adjustments and get the game taken over, at least on the defensive front. So you can't question too much there in regards to what was going on the defensive side of the ball, at least after the first quarter for Ohio State. So Jim Knowles has changed this. You can see it shifting. He's starting to bring in his people that fit his system, and I think the recruits are seeing that. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and we'll be coming to you next time with some more information. So again, God bless and go Bucks.